When I was working in the store downtown one day, a mother handed a child a cookie, and she said, "This is the best cookie you're ever going to eat." And I smiled, and I thought, oh my Lord, I've got, that's a pretty big obligation to bear, that I have to make the best cookie that she's ever going to eat. But that's an obligation for me to live up to tradition. Servatii Pastry Shop is a European bakery. We have 11 stores in greater Cincinnati. When I was younger and got into the business, I had a lot of concern that I wouldn't be able to live up to my father's reputation because he kind of set a high bar. And my father's specialty is pastry.
My parents started a coffee shop and a pastry shop in Germany right after the war in '48. And I was the only son, so it was really well determined that I would be a pastry chef and take the training for it. I enjoy being able to do interesting pastries and have the people enjoying it, appreciating it.
Our pastry chefs have over 30 years of experience and training in Europe.
It's chocolate, chocolate, and more chocolate. We have a rich chocolate mousse that's filled with a milk chocolate center, and it's on a dark chocolate disc, and then we top it with this dark chocolate pouring ganache. They're fantastic, if you like chocolate.
It's a opera cream torte. It starts out with a chocolate chip, real heavy, dense cake. And we make an opera cream. You know, all we're really doing here is just a pretty plain, simple decoration. I mean, that's what sells the product. Just a little flair, just a little bit of excitement. It sets us aside from everyone else.
On a typical Friday, we'll decorate anywhere from 75 to 100 cakes. And on our busy days, we go from 250 to 350. And we've even actually hit 500.
It's 4:30 on Friday night. We got our baking order in hand and we're eager to get the product out. We have to bring this all together by 2 o'clock in the morning when the trucks get out of here. Trucks are rolling no matter what. We have a timeline, but it has to be right because there's no making it a second time. Hey Jerry, what are you making tonight? Cinnamon rolls? Okay, very good. We're going to take our cake crumbs and we're going to be making cinnamon filling. We make probably 3 80-quart bowls, which is probably 600 pounds at a time. And we'll make the filling and we'll put it right in the cinnamon rolls of the fresh dough that we just made. Right now I'm making what we call the salty rye. We're bringing the bread out of the machine, dipping it in water, and then putting caraway seed and salt on top. It gives it that flavor. When you bite into it, you get that big burst of flavor. It has to look as good as it tastes. Get it. Come on. We're making Oldenburg bread. It's a traditional bread we make in Germany. We brought it back to the United States using a rye sour starter that I brought back with me. We bake it in a stone hearth oven. This is made exactly the same way that they did 100, 200 years ago in Germany. So now we're going to invert the bread and drop it straight on the stone hearth. What that's going to do is it's going to give it an immediate crust, that contact heat from the oven, just like they did 10,000 years ago, the first time they baked bread on a rock. You can't get more authentic than this. We're cutting the bread so that when the bread expands in the oven, it gives them a controlled point where they're going to break. It looks prettier, otherwise the bread would rip open on the side. This is our sandwich pretzel. Very hot. You can see how red my hands are, but I got baker's hands. Let's see how tough I am. And that's about the limit of my toughness. It's been about 40 minutes since I loaded the bread right on that stone hearth. And now I'm going to start pulling the bread out. And as the crust cools, you can kind of hear it crackle a little bit. you have to love what you're doing because it is a labor of love at the end of the day. I attended the same school as my father and grandfather before, the Kolping School in Münster. I worked in a bakery that was over 150 years old, and so the tradition of the bakery was in the walls. You could smell it. It was exciting. And knowing that my family was also a part of that was important to me.
What pleases me is when the customer responds positive, say he enjoys it, comes back, and especially now when they tell me, oh, we used to buy from you 50 years ago and we're still enjoying it and still coming. And so that's really the satisfaction I have.
And the aromas and the sounds and the sights, it fills me with joy to walk into a room and see what we produce. It's very gratifying. Cincinnati has a very long German tradition and absolutely a baking tradition, and I'm proud to be a part of that.